we got too far off a topic.
All right,
James,
all right.
go back to these playoffs here. We got MLS playoffs to predict, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as I mentioned before, every good team, every solid team is gone. So it's a crapshoot now, baby. Let's go sicko mode.
So here, keep this in mind. On the East, Orlando and the Red Bulls have never won the MLS Cup.
Okay.
On the West, Minnesota hasn't won an MLS Cup.
Okay.
Is it possible that you might have the final between teams that haven't won the MLS Cup?
As we will go through, I do not predict that.
Okay.
Well, let's get into this. So LAFC, okay. It's easy for me to start left to right here, but LAFC versus Seattle, I'm just going to chalk it up to LAFC. But Seattle, I mean, to get here, haven't they been on a bit of a tear?
Yeah, they started the season terrible. They've been really good, but they also didn't score a lot of goals.
They scored a whole 1 goal in
I think.
Yeah.
Call me crazy, but I think Seattle might beat LAFC.
I'm giving it to Seattle as well, DPG. Me and DPG agree.
Okay, that solidifies me in going LAFC.
Okay.
Down to LA, Minnesota. LA's got this too. I'm liking this LA El Clasico final or whatever you call it.
Hold on. We got to keep in mind that Minnesota really took RSL to the limit and actually got through on penalties. Now,
RSL.
Hey, they were pretty good at one point during the season, but now, I mean, come on, who was the tougher team, RSL or Colorado?
That's a 10-minute conversation that we don't.
Okay. The reason I'm saying this is because like Minnesota might have had the harder road on this playoff system. LA Galaxy's pretty much beat the hell out of those kids in Colorado. So I don't know.
I'm going with James. LA.
Okay. All right, I'm going with him. I'm going to be the odd man out. I'm going with Minnesota.
Okay. So then on the East, baby, the East we know is the best. We have the 4th seed in Orlando City and the 9th seed in Atlanta United. Who do we got? Gentlemen?
I'm gonna ride with Orlando City.
You know what? I thought about that, but then I saw who they're playing against. I think Atlanta still has some of that magic.
It's Atlanta, baby. Atlanta's gonna ruin everything. We all want good soccer.
Atlanta could definitely ruin everything. I could see that happening. I mean, especially if they're on the riding this high of, and maybe they have slightly better players than Orlando. Let's actually take a slightly deeper dive into this.
Oh shit! A deeper dive
into the stats. I just want to see
starts in 3 days.
So let's see, 15 wins for Orlando versus 10 wins for Hotlanta. I mean, that's going to count for a little something there. Average goals per game. Yeah, I don't know. I want it for both teams. I need it for both teams. Recent head-to-head matches. Well, guess what? We've got 2 head-to-head matches this year. And it looks like the home team, Orlando, beat Atlanta 2-1, and then Atlanta early in the season beat them 2-0.
Man, I think Atlanta's gonna just ruin everybody's good mood.
Yeah,
just crash the party.
I wonder what the Asian handicap is.
The what?
The what?
You don't see this? It says
no.
Asian,
what?
It says Asian handicap.
On the betting screen?
Yeah.
Is that for the Asian markets?
Maybe. I was just curious what that would mean.
I have no idea.
Also, we have other.
You took me aback for a second.
Yeah, I was
like,
what? Mind there for a second. Here's the other thing: Atlanta's coming off a 2-game win streak. Orlando's coming off a 2-game draw streak. The average goals for Orlando 1.7. Atlanta 1.4.
Atlanta's just literally freaking slayed Messi's team. You know, it's how are they not overconfident? That confidence must be like through the roof on that team. Like,
nah, you don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to be the next one up after that. Yeah, Atlanta's gonna swag their way through this whole thing and get to the conference finals. Now, I know James's analytical brain is going on. Look at it. He's looking at dials. This is wild. Now, I want to get to the game that excites me the most.
All right.
oh, here we
Where
go.
we have a team playing in someone else's baseball stadium versus a plucky group of racists in the New York Red Bulls.
Look, man, this is New York versus New Jersey. Okay.
I know. I love this. This is like, as far as all the other bullshit that's surrounding FC F the kids, it's hashtag F the kids. I love this matchup. Like, I can't wait to watch this soccer game. I'm so excited.
I'm waiting for these I'm waiting for these two like support groups just to go at it in the streets of New York, like riot style. Like I have a feeling they might go riot style.
Dude, I think I do. I think you're right. I think there's legitimate concern of a little bit of hooliganism, which
did it happen a couple years ago? Like they're fighting in this.
They've had some like legit fights. Now, again, there's also been fucking Nazis in NYCFC's fan group at times, so there was issues there. But like, there's been legit just fights between fans at bars between these two fan groups, which is kind of the best. Like,
I mean, I've seen videos. You're right about that. I don't know if we might have seen the same video where they're like fighting outside of a bar and they're like in the middle of the street. It's like a whole crowd.
Like, it's one of those step down kind of bars, so it's not on street level. It's down, and they're all like flowing out of the bar, fighting and everything. Yeah.
Like 20 dudes like in the middle of the street just fighting. Like holy crap! Like is this a NYFC versus that Red Bull, or this is like a Celtic, a Celtic versus Rangers match?
Well, here's a question for James. I don't know if you people can see the other screen, but James is sharing his screen, and as we're talking, his brain is going a million miles an hour and clicking around. It's absolutely amazing.
He's that meme with the math problems.
But no, I want to ask you, like, me and DPG kind of laughed about it because you don't see it a lot, so it's a little bit memey. But should we worry about actual fan violence for a RB, Red Bull New York NYCFC matchup?
I mean, you should.
That will be a first.
Yeah, you definitely need to be concerned. I mean, for any. I mean, think about for LA. Wouldn't.
Yeah, and LA is not too bad, but like I can imagine like New York City FC and the Red Bulls like going at it, and someone getting really hurt. That the next year they have like horseback police, like separating the two groups.
But I mean, it hasn't happened recently, has it? Really?
They're gonna have to come up with the riot police.
There's been some fights at these football games, and
yeah.
No, but those are small. Those are small in scale, though. We're talking about.
We're talking about real Green Street hooligans type stuff where they're getting ready with bottles and chains.
I hope
they got
not.
Brass knuckles.
Yeah, they usually got enough police force out, presence out and about Soldier Field and City Field and
because we have
what is it, SoFi Field or whatever it is for the.
Yeah, but
who's our closest rival? Who's the closest team to us? Minnesota. What?
St. Louis.
Talk about the nicest group of people who could possibly descend on your state and city.
I've never had any problems with supporters. I think for the most part they've been pretty cool. Like
well, for a long time, they did push that what they call it, Major League Friendship. You know what I mean? Where they tried to keep things cool and keep things like between supporters.
We could all get behind flares. Like just
but I think the New York teams are like its own entity just because, as Toke mentioned, all the stuff that's been going on and behind the scenes and all with the Nazi supporting groups and all that stuff. So that's like its own entity. That's like
it's a very weird pocket of American soccer. Just kind of like how for very different reasons the Northeast is the weird pocket of soccer. It's just that's the fun thing about having a country this large is like
It's
shit's
too
different
large.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
Pizza doesn't taste the same.
Oh crap! Did we even
Well,
predict the game? Have any of us said who we think's gonna win?
So I said Atlanta.
No.
For this one,
New York.
You know, I'm gonna go Red Bulls.
I'm going Red Bulls too.
Oh my God, this is the first consensus we have. I actually think the Red Bulls are going to MLS Cup.
Oh,
it's gonna be a Red Bulls. It's gonna be a Galaxy Red Bull Cup.
Someone needs the child support money, man.
Put a couple of shekels on New York Red Bulls, but you didn't hear from us. We're not financial advisors.
Playing like he's gonna need a bump in pay.
I gotta score a set number of goals for I can hit the bonus.
Now, to be fair, I did watch who they play, Columbus, and he had a child with him. I don't know if it was his.
This has been a spicy episode.
Oh man.
We're gonna have to label this one the hot ones.
Yeah, I guess it started out all nice, and we were trying to be all professional. Nope, just off the rails. Anyway,
speaking of professional, we're gonna the signal person is coming to say, hey, it's time to take a break. We'll be right back here on Enemies of the Fire.